Man, I love Steam maintenance. Oh, it's great. Luckily, we don't need it to play the game. But I was going to look at some deals before the stream, before I actually started. Seeing as chat was so quiet. You hear a creak, but instead of the Steam Deck falling out, your ceiling falls off. I mean, I haven't seen the ceiling fall off, but I've seen, when I first lived here on one of the other floors before the renovations, there was a, how do I put it? My ceiling was flooding, so water would just drip down relentlessly, and it was crazy. It drove me mad because it happened like 5-6 different times. Hey, Dr. Coconut. Hey, Shadow. Anyway, get to the game. Come on, game. There you go. Before anything, let me take down the... Not that. The viewer count. Come on. There we go. I gotta be careful how I press on my Stream Deck because it's hanging on. Worse than before, man. Well, yeah, worse than before. I made the mistake of twisting my clamp a little too tight, thinking it was the microphone arm making the creaking noises. It wasn't. It was the clamp, and it snapped. So now I'm down to this bootleg shit. And the clamp itself does not hold onto the Stream Deck. Allow me to rant, please. The clamp doesn't hold onto the Stream Deck. So because all the sides are curved, so I'm trying like top to bottom, left to right. It doesn't hold. So I put in the fucking a placeholder that holds a little standee thing you put on your desk. I have the clamp hold that. It holds it pretty fine, and I put the Stream Deck in it. So I gotta be careful how I move and push this thing because I don't know, like I don't know if it's like a little hair trigger on here where it'll just snap and I'll be at square one again, you know? Anyways, get that off my chest. We're back here. Oh god. Why does she look like a guy? I don't like it. Ugh. Anyway, my lungs are working like every breath is a gamble as I lie flat on my back and gaze up at the bunk above. My bunk! Wishing that I was there. My whole body feels like raw meat. Scratches dragging fire down my ribs. Bite marks blooming across my shoulders and chest. Even moving my arms sends little sparks of pain crawling up my skin. Max is curled up right beside me, warm against my side under the same blanket. So, round 10. Last night's still a blur in my head. Her grin, her claws, those sharp little nips that turned into not so little bites. I didn't hate it. Truth is, I enjoyed every second of it. Dude, Anon is like a fucking freak, man. He enjoys every fucking route. It'd be funny if there was a route where he's like, no, I didn't enjoy that. Sadly, my human body is paying the bill. Did you have to bite me all over? She blinks innocently. When did I bite you? I don't bother answering, just tilt my head down, enough to gesture at the battlefield she left across me. My torso looks like I lost a fight with a wild animal. Her eyes roam over the marks. Oh, those. I close my eyes and groan again. I didn't even notice when I did that. Yeah, I can tell. She shrugs, grin never fading. I mean, I'm kinda sorry, but at the same time, not really. You've always just been my friend, but now we're, you know, more than that. It feels natural. Teeth on skin isn't natural. Her tail flicks against my leg as she smirks wider. I've got scales. My idea of natural might be a little different from yours. I just let my head fall back into the pillow, sighing through sore lungs. Figures. I don't think I can go for another round. Max leans back a little, whistling a simple melody. That's fine. We've got the night for it again. Before I can even groan at the thought, a muffled voice carries through the thin wall from the next cabin over. Please, no! We want to sleep! We both freeze for a second. Anyway, you want to eat lunch with me later? I rub at my sore ribs, shooting her a look. You do remember we both have to work, right? She blinks, then grins as if I just reminded her of something unimportant. Right, work. There's a beat of silence, her smirk slowly creeping back. So, round 10? I groan, rubbing my bite mark on my arm. Relax, I know it was just a joke. She pauses, voice dipping a little lower. Although, maybe it wasn't a joke. Her hand slides down and gives my thigh a firm squeeze. My breath catches, ribs protesting, and I wince in pain as she squeezes a zone that probably has a bite mark too. I'm serious, I don't feel capable. She grins, sharp and merciless. Good thing it wasn't a question this time. Oh no! Uh-oh. Grape? I close my eyes, sending a desperate prayer to the primordial dragon above. Please, anyone, save me. Max snickers, pulling her hand back. Relax, I'm just playing with you. You look like you're about to pass out. I crack one eye open at her, still not convinced. I've already told you, work's more important to me than relationships. That hasn't changed. She leans in close before slipping out from under the blanket, placing a quick kiss on my cheek, warm, way too warm. For a second, I just stare at her, brain tripping over itself. Work more important than relationships? Then what the hell was that supposed to mean? She's already stretching, tail flicking as she moves to grab her clothes. Come on, we should get dressed. Shift's not going to wait for us. I lie there, cheek tingling, wondering if she actually meant what she said or if she just enjoys keeping me guessing. I swallow, wincing at her as her tail squeezes my leg. Yeah, let's get going. For a moment, nothing moves. She's stretched out, tail still squeezing my leg, but she's not even trying to leave the bunk. Are we moving? Yeah. Her tail keeps me pinned, her body relaxing against mine like she has no intention of actually getting up anytime soon. I groan again, shifting slightly so my fingers tap against my sides. Are we moving for real this time? Max stretches again, tail still snug around my leg, voice casual as ever. Yeah, eventually. I tap my sides a little faster, waiting for her to budge, then sigh. We should really get going. She smirks at me without moving. I will move, eventually. Just give me a minute. We don't move, not an inch. My patient frays, and I finally sit up a little, exasperated. What game are you playing? Max tilts her head, eyes glittering with mischief. Tail still tight around me. Game, we literally fucked the whole night. Now I can't move. What else could it be? I slump back into the bunk, groaning. Yep, that sounded about right. Fine, 5 more minutes. Max glances at me, smirk tugging at her lips, tail not loosening an inch. Okay, 5 more minutes. Alright, I need to readjust my pillows. Anon's gonna end up looking like Joshua Graham after this, all banged up. I don't know that reference. Alright. Eventually, we manage to get dressed, the quiet stretch of the bunk moment fading as we pull on our daily clothes. So, what are you gonna do today in the cargo? She tilts her head, thinking for a second. I put it like that. It doesn't... The stream deck doesn't look so sketchy. Anyways. Not much, I guess. It's rare to see anyone down here, so I'll probably just sleep. She points at her butt with a little smirk. After all, the merchandise got heavily shaped, so it'll need some time to rest. I raise an eyebrow, half amused, half exasperated. You know, I kind of liked you more when you weren't so explicit. She shrugs like it's nothing. I enjoy sex. Why would I hide that fact from my mate now that we're together? Fair enough. Her tail flicks against my leg as I head towards the door. Have a nice day. The smell of strong tea hits me, but even that doesn't mask how exhausted the chef looks. He's slouched over slightly, eyes half closed, and he doesn't even say hello as I approach. Good morning, sir. He just nods and passes me a plate with 4 Navy biscuits, along with a mildly hot cup of tea. You okay, sir? Something wrong? He lets out a long, heavy sigh, rubbing at his eyes. Your cabin, it's in the same area as mine, Giovanito. Oh no. Oh yeah, because we found that out with what, Neela? Oh no. I frown, not getting it. Wait, what do you mean, sir? He leans back slightly, looking at me like I should have known this already. The cabins aren't exactly soundproof, just planks separating them, and, well, let's just say everyone in the men's cabins area, everyone, couldn't sleep last night because of you and the short one going wild. Really? I'm not exaggerating, Giovanito. Around 3 in the morning, most of the passengers had the same idea. Come down to the saloon and drink something to calm their nerves. You two left quite the wake. I stare at my tea. My ribs ache all over, but now I feel even guiltier, knowing the chaos wasn't just in my body. I'm still reeling from the chef's words, holding my plate of biscuits and tea when a shadow passes between us. Before I can even register what's happening, a hand smacks the back of my head hard enough to sting. I whip my head around, ready to say something, but the passenger's already striding past, not saying a word, just moving to the other side of the saloon like nothing happened. I rub the back of my head, groaning softly. Great, not only did I keep everyone awake last night, but apparently someone thinks a subtle reminder is necessary. Giovanito! I just sigh, holding my plate a little tighter, wondering how exactly I got myself into this kind of trouble before the day even starts. You might want to be a bit more thoughtful about what you do. I glance up at him, raising an eyebrow. You've made a few enemies now. Passengers are crankier than usual, especially since the menu got switched to hard Navy biscuits. I wince, letting the plate shake slightly in my hands. They've been eating Navy biscuits for days now, already on edge, and your activities didn't exactly help. Patience is in short supply. I stare at my Navy biscuits, chewing on my lower lip. My ribs already hurt, my head stings, and now I'm apparently public enemy number 1 among the passengers. Lovely. I sigh, finally lowering myself onto the bench. The biscuits in my hand feel like a rock, but I try to bite into it anyway. I manage to chew through half a corner when footsteps approach behind me. Is it the rich guy? Another one. Okay, never mind. Before I can even look, a shoulder slams into mine, my arms jerk, the cup tips, and hot tea splashes across my shirt. Damn it! The passenger doesn't even stop. He keeps walking, not so much as a glance back, disappearing between some other passengers. Giovanto, if I was you, I would try to lay low for now. Noted. The sea stretches wide and blue, but out there, watch, we're gonna find the rich guy here, aren't we? But out there, at the far line, the land is just a faint shadow clinging to the horizon. The ship rolls steadily along the coast, and a few seagulls circle overhead, crying out as they trail the paddles. I lean against the railing, pulling out one of the damn biscuits from my pocket. It's as solid as ever, corners sharp enough to scratch if I'm not careful. I take a bite anyway, jaw working hard. The taste dry and chalky. Dinner, if it can be called that. The seagulls flap closer, eyeing me. probably mistaking the biscuit for something worth stealing. I smirk a little at the thought. At least I got orange juice, just a small portion, but better than the lukewarm tea that stained my shirt this morning. The citrus tang lingers faintly on my tongue, clashing with the dusty bite of the biscuit. Strange, I don't remember the chef bringing out oranges before. Only saw them the day we left Draconia. Maybe he had a stash for emergencies. Not that it matters much, I'm not in charge of the food. I can't complain. I chew through another corner, staring at the gulls in the faraway line of land, pretending the world is calmer than it really is. Yeah, I called it. Ugh. A sudden weight presses down on my shoulder. My body stiffens. I turn my head. Slow already, dreading what I'll see. It's him. The rich bastard. For a heartbeat, I can't breathe. My mind flashes back to the threat from a week ago, when he leaned in close and whispered that he could have Max arrested, all for the simple act of napping on a pile of cargo sacks. He didn't have to shout it, didn't have to make a scene. Just said it in that casual, sharp-edged way of his that burrows under your skin and stays there. I don't want to give him the satisfaction of seeing me rattled. I turn back towards the horizon, focusing on the thin strip of land. On the gulls dipping into the waves, the biscuit hardens like a stone in my mouth. But he doesn't let me slip away so easily. His hand clamps down again, harder this time, tugging me around to face him. I'm getting tired of this. Your little companion, that scaly brat. She's always in the cargo hold, sleeping on sacks, poking around where she doesn't belong. I clench my jaw, the biscuit half cracked between my teeth. I swallow dry, saying nothing, and turn back towards the horizon. He yanks me again, harder this time. I've let it slide enough. I'm this close to having her arrested. She thinks she could just sprawl wherever she pleases. That's not how this works. Exhale through my nose, calm but burning inside. She isn't bothering anyone. The sacks don't care if she sleeps on them. He chuckles, leaning in closer. Then he shows me the gun. That's not the point, kiddo. Rules are rules, and I've seen her break them more than once. If I give the word, the captain won't hesitate. My fingers tighten around the tin cup of juice, knuckles whitening. You're bluffing. If I had the pull you think you do, she'd already be in chains. The smirk he gives makes my stomach turn. A gold tooth glints as he lowers his voice. Careful, you have no idea what kind of pull I have. I'm not tolerating this bullshit, not from a guy I barely even know. My fist is already curling tight, my arm pulling back, ready to dive straight into that smug face of his. Then gun. Then I freeze. In the blink of an eye, my blood goes cold. He flashes something from under his coat, just enough for me to see the steel glint in the sunset light. Not a knife, not a saber. A revolver. My throat tightens. I've only ever heard about them in whispers. Drunken talk at the markets. Sailors' gossip. A pistol that can fire again and again without reloading. A weapon out of nightmares. The kind kings would kill to have. The bastard sees me stiffen and his grin spreads wider. That's better, you see. I don't need to do much to get what I want. People fall in line real quick once they realize what I'm carrying. My hand drops slowly to my side, pulse hammering in my ears. Every instinct screams at me to run, to shout, to warn the others, but I stand still, the taste of stale biscuit still on my tongue, realizing just how dangerous this man really is. The grin doesn't last, his jaw tightens, nostrils flaring, and suddenly he snaps. God damn it! Shit! I flinch back, confused. He's not even looking at me, just pacing like he's fighting something only he can see. He spins back towards me, finger pressing on my chest like a dagger. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have shown you that piece. Now you're in on it too, whether you like it or not. My stomach twists. Involved in what? He spits on the deck, voice dropping into a rough, guttery tone I barely recognize. Ain't even had the chance to peek at what I came for. Every damn time, the short one's lurking around. Won't leave me the fuck alone. I freeze again. Short one. He's talking about Max. My mind races, heart hammering. Walk in front of me, now! We're going to the cargo area, and that midget better not be around, otherwise you'll have to deal with her too. I swallow hard, nodding without a word, and start walking. Every step is careful, deliberate. My pulse is hammering in my ears, and I know any sudden move could be the last thing I do. Minutes stretch into eternity, and finally we reach the cargo area. I hold my breath, spinning the stacks of sacks and crates. Lucky Max isn't here. Probably in the saloon or back in the cabin. The shift should be over by now. I let myself exhale quietly, trying not to make a sound. Stay close. Don't wander off. I nod again, swallowing the tight knot in my stomach, knowing that whatever comes next depends on keeping my head low and not giving him a reason to pull that revolver again. There, that crate. See how it looks. Older than the rest? Open it up. I hesitate just for a second, then nod, kneeling carefully and unlatching the crate. The wood creaks as I lift the lid, and my eyes go wide. Inside, gold bars, stacked neatly, shining even in the dim light of the cargo hold. National treasure quality, the sort that makes your stomach twist and your heart pound. Finally, I've been trying to get these for days, but that fucking dwarf keeps hovering around all the time, always poking her nose where it doesn't belong. I slowly stand, every movement careful, aware of the weight of the situation. I can feel the heat of the revolver in my mind, still tucked away under his coat. Enough! Get out and listen! You better not tell anyone about this, not a word, or there will be consequences you won't like. I nod, my stomach twisting in guilt and fear as I back towards the exit, keeping my eyes on him. I need to warn Max about this. Tuesday. Max doesn't blink her eyes. They're wide, staring at me as if I had just informed her that the ship is sinking. At first, nothing comes out of her lips as they open, close, and then open again. Finally, she stammers. Oh, wait, you mean he was looking at me like I was in the way? Every single day? I nod slowly. Her knees give in and she drops to the edge of the bunk. She runs her fingers over her face, then grips the sheets like she needs to ground herself. I could have been killed any day, just tossed overboard, and nobody would have even noticed. My chest tightens. Don't say that. Someone would have noticed. I would have noticed. Her lips tremble and she shakes her head. You weren't even in the cargo hold most of the time. He could have done it in the blink of an eye and just carried on with whatever insane plan he has. And I'd just be gone. I want to grab her hands, but I stop myself, my fingers curling into fists at my sides instead. But he didn't. You're here, you're breathing, and he didn't touch you. Because you're tougher than he thinks, Max. You've been tougher than me half the time. Her gaze finally flickers to me, wet at the edges, doubtful but listening. Max shakes her head, her voice trembling but sharp enough to cut. Easy for you to say. You're not the one walking around with the thought that some armed bastard could just come up behind me and blow my head off. How am I supposed to even work with that hanging over me? The words twist in my gut. She's right. Every time I picture that guy lurking near the hold, hand brushing against the revolver in his coat, my stomach knots. If she goes down there and slips, even for a second, I swallow hard. You're right, Max. But if you start acting nervous around him, he's going to notice. He's not stupid, and if he figures out I told you anything, I'll let the thought hang in the air. He won't hesitate. Into bed. She pulls her knees up into the bunk, hugging them tight, as if making herself smaller would make her harder to find. She also covers herself with the sheets as a cocoon. This really should have been its own CG. Listen, stay here today. Don't set foot in the cargo hold. I'll tell Neela you're not feeling well. She won't ask questions. I glance towards the door and then back at her. The cargo isn't going anywhere. Not today, at least. I hope not. Max's eyes flicker at the last part, but she doesn't argue. Hey, Pork, I won't be watching the stream today, but I'll watch the VOD. Been working non-stop today on rewriting. Is it the remake, or is it with, well, I guess rewriting would... Or is it on the sketch? I don't know. My hands sink into the pockets of my pants. Wait, is this... No, this is new. Shoulders hunched against the morning chill. For a moment, the silence feels like a relief compared to Mac's trembling voice still echoing in my head. Rewriting this, alright. I start towards the saloon. Breakfast feels like an excuse more than a need, but halfway down the deck I catch sight of Vert. He's leaning against the rail, arms crossed, eyes scanning the water like he's measuring it. His orange scales catch the gray light, sharp against the rolling waves. I slow my steps, pulse quickening. Of all the people to run into right now, it had to be him. Vert doesn't waste words, and when he does speak, it's blunt enough to cut. He doesn't take half-truths kindly, and I don't even know how he'd react if he found out about the rich guy in the cargo hold. Maybe he'd explode, maybe he'd storm down there without thinking. Maybe he'd look at me like I was an idiot for not already doing something. None of those options sound good. I keep my eyes forward, boots scuffing the boards as I pass by without slowing. My stomach knocks with the thought that he might call out to me, that he might sense something is wrong, just from the way I walk. But he doesn't. He just keeps staring at the sea like I don't exist. I keep my head down, feet carrying me past him. Just a few more steps and I'm in the clear. Why do you look so nervous? I freeze. My heart stutters in my chest as if a police officer told him to halt. How the hell does he know? Did I give something away? Is he just that sharp, reading me like an open book? Or is it dumb luck? My mind races with questions I don't have answers to, and the silence stretches too long. I glance over. His eyes are narrowed, not angry, just calculating, measuring me. Or are you avoiding me like the rest? Doesn't matter anyway. For a moment, the panic in my chest mixes with guilt. Avoiding him? Like the rest, I want to tell him it's not that I'm just drowning in bigger problems bigger than I can say, but my tongue sticks to the roof of my mouth. No, it's not that. I'm just tired, that's all. Bert doesn't look at me when I answer. His eyes stay on the water, voice at an oddly quiet but hearable voice, considering the paddles making noise. Almost mechanical. Max rewrite. When she pounces on Anon, it cuts to outside of the cabin door with screen shakes and plays Ed, Ed, and Eddie sound effects. I was just guessing. I don't know what people feel outside my own head. The words land heavy, but not sharp. More like a simple fact. If you want to walk away, that's fine. Better for me anyway. He says it so casually, like he's used to it. Like it's normal for people to keep their distance. For a second, I forget about the rich guy, about the revolver, about Max curled up in the cabin. Maybe the smart move would be to just nod, move on, and bury myself in breakfast. Pretend I didn't hear the weight behind that sentence. Pretend I'm not rattled by everything else spinning around in my skull. But Vert's the kind of guy who doesn't sugarcoat anything. Straightforward. Brutal even. Maybe that's exactly what I need right now. No games, no pretenses. Just a clear, raw answer. My thoughts swirl, second-guessing themselves. Bert's an engineer. He sees problems for what they are and solves them without wasting words. He doesn't explode, doesn't make a scene. He just moves on. I chew it over, careful, until the words push their way out. Vert, what would you do if, say, there was a rich man on board, armed? His head tilts, eyes narrowing. What are you talking about? I stutter, scrambling for ground to stand on. Nothing real. I mean, I'm writing something. A book. Best way to kill time on a ship, right? Just hypotheticals. The excuse feels thin, but it's all I've got. Bert arches an eyebrow, then fixes me with that long, unblinking stare. The kind of stare that makes you wonder how many pieces he's pulling you apart into in his head. He doesn't move, doesn't even frown, just lets the silence stretch. By now I can feel my skin crawl, every nerve screaming that he knows I'm lying. But he doesn't call me out. He doesn't ask again. If it were me, I'd set up a trap, something simple. Catch him where he doesn't expect it. He shrugs, gaze shifting briefly back to the waves. Or just kill him while he sleeps. Less trouble that way. The words hang in the air, heavier than the creak of the ship around us. My jaw almost drops. I knew he'd be blunt. I expected blunt, but not this blunt. Not straight up murder. No hesitation, no moral curveball, just cold logic delivered as requested. Nothing, just silence on my end. Bert glances at me again, as if checking whether I got what I came for, then looks away, already finished with the conversation. I swallow hard, still trying to process what I just heard. Do you mind? I'm trying to calculate how many turns per minute the paddle's wheel's doing. You're making me lose count. I blink at him, stunned. A second ago, he was casually suggesting murder like it was fixing a loose bolt, and now I'm just background noise and interfering with his numbers. The shift makes me feel small, like I was never more than a passing distraction in his head. Right, sorry. I throw myself overboard. I step forward, the boards creaking under my boots, and turn towards the saloon. My pulse is still uneven, but I don't want to interrupt him again, not when he's already moved on. As I walk away, I hear counting something I can't quite follow. That's like I never even asked. Have you heard of the new Snoot standalone Volcadera Nights? It's only a demo, but it's at least over 4 hours long. Where? Then Anon pulled into the water by a Mer Olivia and drowns in the end. Okay. The afternoon drags itself across the deck. Wait, oh, new stuff. The sun already leaning low, gold on the waves. My shift's over, but I'm still chewing on more than the Navy biscuit in my hand. I'd check in on Max at lunch. She wouldn't come out, not even when I tried to coax her with food. She just shook her head, eyes flickering to the door every few seconds, like she expected the rich bastard to walk right in. I told her to rest, to stay put. I tried to make it sound like an order, but it came out more like begging. Now I lean against the rail, biscuit between my teeth, crumbs sticking dry in my mouth. The coast slips by, a dark jagged line against the blue-gray water, peaceful than anyone else. To me, it feels like the world's moving forward while I'm stuck chewing cardboard in dread. I bite down harder than I mean to, cracking the biscuit clean in half. My jaw aches. Somewhere below deck, Max is still curled up, scared out of her mind. Somewhere else, that rich guy's probably sipping wine, plotting whatever comes next. Revolver tucked against his side, waiting. And me? I'm standing here watching the land roll past, feeling useless. I snap off another bite of the biscuit, jaw working slowly, when I hear the heavy tread of boots on the planks behind me. There you are. Figured I'd find you staring at the waves. I glance over. He's not wearing his hat. Off duty, then. His green scales catch the afternoon light, easier on the eyes than his brother's sharp orange glare. He stops next to me, leaning on the rail, arms folded loosely. Bert was talking to me earlier. That catches me off guard. My teeth pause on the biscuit. Oh? Orange grins a little, eyes still on the sea. Said he had a nice chat with you. I blink, confused. A nice chat? My mind flashes back to Vert's blunt tone, the cold logic in his voice when he dropped the whole "just kill him while he sleeps" bomb on me. What was his idea of nice? Or that was his idea of nice. Wait, that counts as a nice chat to him? Orange shakes his head in silence. That's Vert. If he talked more than 2 sentences at you, that's practically a dinner party in his books. Don't think he dislikes you, if that's what you're wondering. I lean back against the rail, still chewing, trying to piece that together. I mean, he stared at me for a full minute without saying a word. I thought I made him mad or something. Orange smirks. Yeah, that sounds about right. He's always running numbers in his head. Half the time, he forgets people can't read his silences. To him, that was a conversation. Guess I'm not used to that kind of bluntness. Orange tilts his head, giving me a side glance. Let me guess, he said something that rattled you. Happens to everyone. Don't take it too personal. He just doesn't dress his thoughts up, ever. I look back at the coast slipping past, biscuit forgotten in my hand. Yeah, you could say it rattled me. Orange doesn't press, but his presence feels steadier than the rail under my arms. He shifts against the rail, studying me out of the corner of his eye. His grin fades into something softer, more deliberate. All right, out with it. What's troubling you? The question hits like a stone dropped in my gut. My first instinct is to brush it off, say nothing, maybe crack a joke. But my mind starts scrambling, trying to come up with something quick. It's nothing, just... Orange cuts me off with a low chuckle, shaking his head. Don't even try it, I'm not Vert. He might take you at your word and walk off, but me? I know when someone's carrying weight, and you're practically sinking under it. I shift uncomfortably, suddenly aware of how tense my shoulders are. Really, it's not... Spare me, you better spill the beans before I annoy the life out of you for the rest of this trip. He says it with a grin, but there's an iron underneath. He means it. I stare at the waves rolling past, teeth grinding in the inside of my cheek. My chest tightens. The thought of actually telling him about the rich guy makes every nerve scream danger. But keeping it all in feels just as unbearable with him staring right through me like that. Exhale through my nose, staring at the horizon, then glance back at him. Alright, but you've got to promise you won't say a word. Orange raises a brow, amused. Depends on what you're about to drop on me, but I'll try. I shake my head, not satisfied. No, I mean it. Really promise. This doesn't leave you and me. He studies me for a moment, then smirks. Fine, I promise. As long as you're not about to confess something weird, then all bets are off. I almost laugh at that, but the weight in my chest keeps it down. Instead, I take a breath and start talking. Everything, from the revolver tucked under the rich guy's coat, to the crate with the crown stamped on it, to the way Max has been locked in the cabin all day, terrified. When I finally stop, the silence feels louder than the sea. Orange's mouth is half open, but no sound comes out. His green scales, normally bright in the sunlight, seem dulled, pale in a way I didn't think was possible. You've got to be kidding me! But the way his voice cracks says he knows I'm not. Orange, please, don't say anything. Not to anyone. Not yet. He shifts against the rail, his claws drumming on it, eyes darting to me and back to the sea. For once, he doesn't look calm, doesn't look easygoing. He looks uncomfortable. I can't blame him. Damn it, Anon. As long as you don't drag Max into this, we'll be alright. That's the line, you hear me? As long as she's safe, everything will be fine, right? He tries to sound certain, but I can hear the question hanging at the end of his words. I nod anyway, because it's the only answer I can give. Right. The truth is, I don't believe it either. Orange rubs the back of his neck, still looking uneasy. His gaze drifts towards the horizon and then back at me. Look, I'll see if I can check on the musket we've got stored, just in case things go south. That makes my head snap towards him. The ship has a musket? Calling it a musket might be generous. It's been sitting around for years, and I doubt anyone's bothered to give it maintenance. Hell, it might not even fire, but... He sighs. Better than nothing. He pushes himself off the rail, straight into the water. Straightening his coat as if the conversation's weighing too much on him to linger any longer. Don't get your hopes too high, but if I can get the damn thing working, maybe it'll even the odds. With that, he turns and strides down the deck, leaving me standing there with the biscuit crumbling in my hand. Heart thudding uneven. And wouldn't you have to, actually, set it off to, make sure it works? And then wouldn't people be suspicious of that? For the first time since yesterday, it feels like there's at least a sliver of hope. Thin and rusted as an old musket, but hope all the same. Thursday. Is this, still new shit. The deck is quiet now that my shift's over. I lean against the railing, arms crossed over my chest, staring at nothing in particular. The whole ship has the feeling that it's holding its breath, and the air smells of smoke from the boiler's chimney and salt. I've been doing that too, holding my breath, pretending the whole shift that everything's fine, keeping my face calm, like I'm not a step away from unraveling. Orange drifts into view, hand shoved in his pocket, shoulders loose, but his face drawn. He lets out a deep breath and adjusts his hat before siding up next to me as if he'd been meaning to do so all along. Sorry, I thought I saw like an L. I'm like, what? I went to check on the musket. He doesn't meet my eyes, just keeps staring straight out into the water. It's too rusted. Firing mechanism won't budge. Fuck. Unless you smack it with a sparking rock or something. I breathe out through my nose, shaking my head. I already figured it would be bad, but hearing him say it stings worse than I thought it would. So what the hell can we do then? Orange scratches at his temple, tilts his head back, and finally glances at me. I could talk to Vert, see if he could fix it. My stomach knots at the thought. Vert's sharper than anyone on the ship when it comes to tools and machines. If anyone can get that musket working again, it's him. And what do you tell him? You think he won't notice how suddenly you care about some gun no one's touched in years? That's the problem. My brother doesn't let things slide. He'd ask, and keep asking. You ever try lying to Vert? Never had the honor. He would just dismiss me rather than have a full chat with me. Orange shakes his head. He might not be the sharpest one with people, not in the way most folks are. Anyway, but he looks at people like they're machines, like a set of gears, levers, and springs, and if something isn't cranking the way it should, he notices. The way he says it, I can almost picture Vert staring at me like I'm a busted clock, waiting for the tick that never comes. Orange doesn't stop there. He runs a thumb along the brim of his hat, still watching the horizon. He's always been like that. When we were kids, I could never get away with sneaking out at night. Didn't matter how quiet I was. Next morning, he'd look at me and just know. Said I smelled different. Said my boots looked slightly more used. Like he was listening to parts of me I didn't even know were making noise. Damn. I used to think he was messing with me, but no, he really sees people that way. Doesn't mean he gets the why behind it. He's missed that plenty of times, but he knows when something's not turning right. So basically, we don't stand a chance. Orange smirks faintly, but there's no joy in it. Not if you try to lie to him yourself, no. He'll spot you in a second. Me? Maybe I could pull it off for a while, but even then, I can't promise anything. I lean harder against the railing, staring down at the dark waves smacking the hull. The sound used to calm me before. So what do we do now, then? Just sit on our hands and hope nothing happens? I wish I had a better answer for you. Truth is, I don't know. I'll try talking to Vert. Maybe spin some excuse, say I stumbled upon the musket while I was cleaning, got curious, but... He sighs. I don't promise it'll stick, especially not tonight. Shift's over, and Vert doesn't like being dragged into work after hours. I scoff under my breath. So even if you lie, you'll have to drag him out when he's least in the mood. Sounds promising. That's why I'm telling you not to count on it. Best I could do is buy us time. Maybe he gives it a look tomorrow. Maybe he shrugs it off. Either way, don't expect miracles. I rub the back of my neck, feeling the knot of tension that hasn't loosened all day. I'm tired of pretending, tired of covering the cracks with thin plaster. And if he doesn't shrug it off, if he starts pulling at the threads until the whole thing comes loose... Orange pushes his hat lower, shadowing his eyes. Then we deal with it when it comes. That's all we can do. For a while, neither of us speaks. The crew's noise below deck feels far away, muffled, like another world. Up here, it's just me, Orange, and the weight of too many questions with too few answers. I hate this, sitting around, waiting for something to blow up in our faces. I know, but better we walk careful than go kicking doors open. Trust me, Vert's not the kind of man you want knocking on doors in your head. So you'll try tomorrow? No, I'll try today, but like I said, no promises. And if he presses too hard, I'll have to decide right there and how much to give him. And you're not worried about that? I'm always worried, I just don't show it. Someone's got to keep a straight face, or we'll both lose it. I can't argue with that. But deep down, I know he's right. After everything Orange just said about Vert, the musket, the lies, it feels like the list of bad options is stacking higher than the smokestack. Weren't you trained in hand-to-hand combat or something? I mean, you were in the Naval Academy, right? Yeah, I was trained. They made sure of it. Drills, sparring, the whole lot. You don't spend years in the Navy without learning how to put a man down with your bare hands if you need to. He pauses, thumb tracing along the rim of his hat. But that only works if you're close. I'd have to be right there within grabbing distance. What good is it if the bastard's standing across the room with a revolver aimed at your chest? Doesn't matter how good I am with my fist if he pulls the trigger before I even step in. I press my tongue against my teeth, thinking... But it's all hollow. He's right. It's one thing to wrestle a man to the ground, another thing entirely when that man has a gun. So what you're saying is, unless he trips and drops the damn revolver, you're not much more useful than me. That's about the size of it. I slip a hand in my pants pocket without thinking, fingers curling around the folding knife I've been carrying since I boarded this damn ship. It's not much, just a plain thing. Blade dulled from carving scraps of wood to pass the hours. Could I even get close enough? Could I shove it between his ribs before the revolver barked? Orange's gaze dropped to my hand. Don't even think about it. That's not the kind of plan you gamble on. You'd worry Max more than she already is if you tried something that damn reckless. The sound of her name knocks the air out of me harder than any wave. I snap the knife shut, shove it back into my pocket, guilt burning in my gut. She's already stuck in that cabin, pretending she doesn't notice me coming back every night with a little more frayed. Yeah, you're right. When he's satisfied, he tips his hat back and lets out another slow sigh. Another one of those that seems to come from somewhere deeper than his lungs. I'll go talk to my brother. See if I can get anything out of him without raising suspicion. The way he straightens his coat feels like he's bracing for a storm, even though the sky above us is clear. His movement carries that stiffness of a man who knows he's walking straight into trouble, but can't see any other road forward. In the meantime, you should try to stay calm. I push myself upright, squaring my shoulders against the railing, and gaze at the horizon. Somehow it annoys me. That's easy for you to say. My voice cracked sharper than I mean it to, but I don't take it back. I know. I know you're under a lot of pressure, more than most men could stomach, and you've been holding it in while the rest of the crew walks around without a clue. But that's all I could tell you right now. Stay calm, hold it together, at least until I figure out what I could do with Vert. I open my mouth to argue, to tell him that he doesn't understand, that calm is a luxury I can't afford when I got a rich bastard with a gun and a secret plan breathing down my neck. Instead, I look down at my hands, gripping the railing, the faint tremor running through them, and I feel smaller than I want to admit. He doesn't pat my shoulder, doesn't offer some shallow reassurance, just gives me a tired look. We're both deep in this mess. I need a drink. I'll see what I can do. For a second, I think to call after him, to tell him not to bother, that we're both in over our heads, but the words stay lodged where the knife's weight still sits in my pocket. I let him walk away, the distance between us growing until it's just me and the endless roll of the sea. Stay calm. Easy for you to say. The railing creaks under my grip as I force myself to breathe slow, to not let the pounding in my chest spill out where anyone might see. But even as I stand here, fighting for control, I know Orange is right. Pretending to be calm is the only card I got left to play. The sea keeps moving, my thoughts keep twisting, and the railing creaks under my hands until I force myself to let go. And into the water. I turn away from the horizon and start back towards the cabins. My body feels heavy, not from fatigue, but from the weight of carrying too many lies in my chest. My shift ended a while ago, and Max will be waiting, probably curled up in her bunk. The thought of her face in panic still lingers. My shirt feels too tight, my skin prickling under the fabric like my own body doesn't want me to go back into the room carrying what I know. Oh, there he is. I just had experienced it, Anon. Just pick up and throw Max at him, and she will maul him. Pocket Max. Oh, I got, like, phone bitching at me. Okay. Let's go. The rich guy. With his tail waving in response to the ship's little motion, he emerges from the shadows as if he's been waiting. The faint lantern light could never penetrate me as deeply as that smile, which is as thin and sharp as a razor. There you are! My throat tightens, and I don't even try to swallow it down. I know better. One wrong move, one wrong word, and he'll make sure I never leave this corridor. He takes a step closer, and I swear I hear the faint brush of metal shifting under his coat. I'll be requiring your help again. His tone is calm, almost polite, but it twists in my ears like a threat dressed up in silk. My lips stay sealed. My tongue feels like it's glued to the roof of my mouth. I don't dare breathe louder than necessary. For a heartbeat, I think maybe he'll just pass me by. Maybe he's satisfied with the silence. But then his hand presses against my shoulder, not hard, but insistent. He pushes, my boots scrape lightly against the planks as he steers me down the passage like a shepherd moving stubborn cattle. I don't resist. I can't. My chest pounds harder with every step. He doesn't say a word, and neither do I. The silence between us is the kind that screams louder than any shout. Finally, we reach the cargo area. Pushes me again, and this time to open the space in front of a particular crate. I don't have to ask what's inside. Do you know what I discovered, kiddo? His voice carries a strange lilt, a rhythm that almost makes it sound like he's telling a joke. I tried, yes, I did. I gave it a go, lifted, pulled, strained, sweat running down my temples like some dockhand, but no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't lift a single bar. He makes a lazy hand motion towards the crate, as though an image alone validates his argument. And then I realized, of course, that sort of task, tedious, brutish, utterly unworthy, is the job of the ones with muscles for brains. Although his tall but excruciatingly thin form doesn't appear to have even seen hard labor, his eyes flare as he says it, mocking and cutting. His hands are delicate, uncalloused hands of a scholar. He gestures at them as if he were sweeping away imaginary dust. A brilliant mind such as mine should never be wasted on such banal, sweaty business. No, no, that is why men like you exist. I keep my mouth closed and my face expressionless while my jaw tightens. I refuse to give him any kind of satisfaction. His hand flicks towards the crates, as though he's commanding a dog. Go on, show me. I hesitate, just a heartbeat, enough to feel his stare bore into me like the barrel of his revolver pressing against my ribs. My fingers twitch in my pocket where the folding knife rests, but I don't touch it. The crown branded on the side glares up at me, reminder enough of where this gold came from, of the kind of danger I've waded into. My hand finds the edge of the lid. I reach in, my fingers curl around the cool edge of one bar. The weight drags at my wrist as I pull it free, cradling it in both hands. It's heavy, yes, but not impossible. My arms strain, but the bar stays steady. The rich guy's smile widens. There, you see? Simple for you. Tiresome, pointless work, but you do it so well. The kind of labor that lets a man like me focus on the grander schemes. A symphony requires musicians, after all, even if some only ever play the drum. The edges pierce my hands, reminding me that this isn't mine and serving as a reminder of the type of man I'm doing this for. I glance at him once. He's still smiling. My hands go back into the crate, fingers wrapping around another bar. 2 bars now, manageable, though the awkward shape makes them shift when I adjust my stance. Yes, yes, just like that. See? Perfect. I crouch again, bracing my weight to pull out a third. My fingers slip slightly against the edge, the bar nearly tilting out of my grasp, but I steady it with both hands before hoisting it against the others. 3 press awkwardly against my chest and forearms, the corner biting into my skin no matter how I angle them. Whoever designed these things never meant for them to be carried by hand. My breathing grows shallow, steadying myself with each step back from the crate. 3 is the limit. I can feel it in the strain on my fingers, the imbalance in my arms. 1 more and I'd drop the whole lot across the deck, and that mistake isn't one I can afford in front of him. 3, that's your limit, isn't it? Not because you're weak, no. You're stronger than most of these useless souls wandering the deck. But strength has its ceilings, and yours, it seems it's 3. He laughs at his own observation, low and mocking. It's not about the gold for him, it's about control. I adjust my grip, arms trembling with the shifting weight, and avoid his eyes. Now then, my strong but silent friend, be so kind as to take those to my cabin. Every motion makes the gold press harder on me, the edges cutting like fangs, the bars sliding slightly against each other. Every step towards his cabin feels like another nail hammered into the coffin I'm building with my own 2 hands. He approaches his cabin door as if it were a stage and, with a tidy little flourish, flicks the latch. Toss them inside. God, what was that? God, my voice is like actually getting dry, too. No amount of water can help. My God. But you know what? Count your blessings. Today isn't too bad, like, pain-wise, so I'm taking this shit in stride. Simple, clipped, command and wrapped in a smile. I don't think twice. I follow his instructions, even though 3 bars seems like binding agreements I never intended to make. I lift, pivot, and let them thunk onto the bunk inside his cabin. They bounce off to the ground immediately after. The sound of gold hitting floorboards is obscene in the quiet of the room. It feels wrong to be the one making that noise for him. He watches me with those cold, bright eyes, amusement curling in the corner of his mouth. Slowly and deliberately, he follows me, his palms behind his back like a gentleman checking out a new acquisition. He never comes in contact with gold, he only observes it, as though the sight is nourishment in and of itself. You know, I could never do this myself, even if I paid men double, triple, my hands are for finer things, brains, not brawn. He says it like an insult. And he laughs, short, gleeful, and the movement makes his coat part for a moment, a flash of metal catching the lamplight. You'll be needed again. Don't stray too far from where I can call you. The words land like a whip. My hands are empty now, and my breath comes a little quicker. I nod once because silence is safer than speech. As if documenting what he sees, he examines me for a moment longer before turning and vanishing behind his cabin door, which he closes with a gentle click that, in a perverse way, seems like finality. The gold lies behind that door. The gold lies behind that closed door, and with it, a weight that's not only metal. I feel shaky and tense within. I rub my forearms where the bars bruise the skin, trying to will the ache out. Max's face slides fresh and sharp into my head, and I imagine her curled in their bunk, pretending not to listen for my footsteps. You mean her? Oh no, Max is non-binary now. I want to curse into the empty corridor. I want to throw the bars back at him and tell him to take his symphony and conduct it elsewhere. Orange's words loop in my head. He'll try, he said. He'll try to lie. Vert will notice things, I hope so. I hope like hell Vert's tinkering can turn that musket from junk into a tool we can actually trust, so I don't have to stand here every night counting my breaths and hoping the revolver never finds a voice. If Orange and Vert fix that musket, maybe this whole thread will fray. God damn it. Ugh, not ready. Ugh. The shift finally ends, and with it, my last sliver of patience. I'm supposed to feel relieved, but all I could think about is how the day dragged itself through the mud like a wounded mule. No word from Orange, not a sound, not even a glimpse. The horizon's a dull bruise of orange and gray, the sea dark and heavy beneath it. We've been hugging the coastline for hours, and the farms that scatter the land look the same. Fences, barns, haystacks, and cows. A lot of cows. I'm so used to the ocean being blue all the time that this peaceful country scene doesn't feel right. Too motionless, too delicate, similar to how the land preserves each wave that ever touched it. There's a small hill, a crooked fence, and one lonely cow standing by itself. Nothing unusual, except it's staring straight at me. What are you looking at? The cow doesn't move. I tilt my head. Maybe it's just coincidence. Maybe it's just facing this way. The cow keeps staring. Oh, come on. You've got the whole field and you pick me to stare at. Still nothing. It just stands there, big as a boulder, chewing something invisible, eyes fixed on me. I can feel a vein in my forehead starting to pulse. You think I look funny, huh? I lean forward on the railing. Don't you tilt your head at me. Don't you do that. A gust of wind rolls past, carrying the faint smell of grass and manure. The cow's still there, still chewing, still looking like the world's most judgmental creature. You mocking me or something? Right on cue, The cow moos, loud, long. That echoes across the shore and over the waves, deep enough that even the paddles seem to pause for a second. Did you just moo at me? The cow stares. Then it moos again, this time louder. Oh, that's real mature. Great comeback. Moo, yeah, I can do that too. Watch. Moo! The echo sounds pathetic compared to the real thing. I glare at the cow again. You think this is funny, don't you? Big animal, big eyes, all smug on your stupid patch of dirt. The cow takes a step forward, tail swishing. Oh, you want to go? You think you're tough because you got 4 stomachs and no job? I work for a living. Another moo. This one sounds suspiciously like laughter. Screw you, you milk something animal. It wasn't my best moment. Even I know that. The cow flicks its tail again, turning sideways like it's done with me, like I'm not even worth looking at anymore. Oh, don't you walk away from me! But it does, slowly. It trudges behind the fence and disappears out of sight, leaving me alone with my dignity hanging somewhere overboard. I rub my face and groan. Ugh, arguing with livestock now. Fantastic! The sea rolls beneath me, the sound of the paddles steady again, as if the ship itself decided not to acknowledge what just happened. For a moment, I actually miss Max's teasing. At least when she mocks me, she does it with purpose. I look back towards the fields. The cow's gone, but its judgment lingers like a ghost. Maybe it wasn't mocking me. Maybe I'm just projecting. Stress, fatigue, worry about Orange. Maybe all of it's bubbling over, and the cow was just unlucky enough to be there when it happened. Part of me swears. Part of me knows that animal did that on purpose. I try to shake off the embarrassment, but my brain keeps replaying it. Did you just moo at me? Alright, let's just pretend that didn't happen. A few seconds pass before I glance towards the coast again, just out of stubborn curiosity. The fields look the same as before, calm and endless. Then, from the corner of my eye, movement. A second cow, further up the hill this time, staring right at me. Oh no, no, not again. Are we gonna do the joke a second time? I squint, shielding my eyes from the low sun. It's definitely looking this way, perfectly still. Don't you start. I'm warning you. Moo. You steak with legs. Go get milked. Eat your dirty grass and go shit away in your little field. The second cow flicks it. Oof. The second cow flicks its ears and just stands there, calm as anything. What is this? Some kind of relay? You take turns mocking the guy on the ship? The cow lowers its head a bit, as if grazing, but I'm not fooled. Not anymore. Yeah, eat your grass. I hope it's terrible. I let my shoulders drop. Right, great. 2 cows. Perfect. For a few seconds, I forget how tired I am. The absurdity of it all just takes over. I need to sleep. No responses this time. The cows either gave up or won. Probably both. Maybe I'm worrying over nothing. Still, I can't shake this feeling that something's off. The cow thing doesn't help. Yeah, tomorrow I'm staying in bed. But as I turn to head inside, I swear I hear one last moo echo across the wind. Yeah, well, same to you. Fuck this. Imagine being rage baited by a cow. Yeah, like what? Okay. My hand rests on the latch a second longer than it should. I push the door open. She's on the bench like I pictured. The light from the small porthole paints her in the orange and gold, outlines her horns and the messy strands of hair curling around them. Max lifts her head slightly. Hey! Just one word. Plain, lifeless. Hey. Oh, we got new CG. There you go. You know, in this perspective, Max does not look that short. She is definitely not that short compared to Anon. I walk over and lean down, press a kiss against her bald nose. She doesn't move, doesn't even twitch her tail, just lies there, eyes open but miles away. I sit on the edge of her bunk. Rough day? She shrugs, the motion barely there. I heard someone yelling at a cow. I blink, try not to let my face crack. Oh yeah? She nods. Sound like they were arguing with it, loudly. Weird. People do strange things when they're bored. I scratch my cheek, looking anywhere but her. Max's eyes narrow a little. His voice was familiar. Any voice sounds familiar through planks. Sound carries weird on a ship. Despite herself, she tilts her head in slight amusement. It sounded like you. My throat goes dry. God, yeah, well, a lot of handsome, intelligent people yell at cows, apparently. I just finished my shift. Didn't see a thing. She stares for a moment, then exhales through her nose. That small huff, that means she doesn't believe me, but doesn't care enough to push it. Silence sits between us for a while. You want something from the saloon? She shakes her head. No, I just want... She pauses, eyes falling to her claws, tracing the stitching on her pants. I just want to spend time with you for now, if possible. Sigh. Not the Max I'm used to. This is just fear. Of course. I stay seated in front of her, the mattress dipping slightly under my weight. She leans forward from the bench, seeking for my warmth. I lean forward too. I don't want to go out right now. Because of him? She nods without looking at me. The mention of him, the rich bastard with the revolver, hangs in the air like smoke. Neither of us say his name. We don't need to. He could have killed me whenever he wanted. Her words crack a little near the end. She's not crying, not yet, but the tension in her shoulders says she could. He didn't. That's not comforting. I don't have a good answer to that, so I just nod slowly, even though she can't see me. I get it. She finally turns her head. Do you? I inhale, thinking carefully before answering. I think so. You've been keeping it together since I told you. That kind of thing doesn't just disappear overnight. It's like you tell yourself you're fine, but your brain doesn't buy it. She studies me quietly, then sighs and reaches out, brushing her claw against the back of my hand. You always talk so much when you're right. Wait, you always talk too much when you're right. Bad habit. You got plenty of those. A faint smirk forms at the corner of her mouth, the first real one I've seen all day. I grin back, grateful for even that small spark. She hums softly, a sound halfway between agreement and exhaustion. We sit like that for a while. The sound of the ship used to fade in the background, but tonight it feels louder. Max shifts a little closer, her tail curling near my leg. You can rest, you know. I'll stay here. You should sleep too. Later, I'm not tired yet. She gives me a look that says she knows I'm lying, but she doesn't call me out on it. She just closes her eyes. Even when she's mad, even when she's tired, there's always some noise coming out of her. A hum, a snark, a sigh that means I'm here and you better deal with it. Now there's nothing. Sorry, I keep repeating myself. I just keep going over it. The idea of someone like that was walking around here, that he could have done something to any of us, and I didn't even know. You didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything, Anon. That's what scares me. She straightens a little. I didn't even see him. Didn't notice. I was just living my day, reading, sleeping, eating, and meanwhile you were dealing with that. I didn't tell you because I didn't want to drag you into it. You've got enough on your plate. So instead you keep it to yourself and made me feel safe when I shouldn't have been. I thought that was my job. To lie. To keep you safe. She stares back for a few seconds, then looks down, breathing out through her nose. Her voice softens. You can't do that forever. You can't protect everyone on the ship, Anon. You can't even protect yourself from cows, apparently. I'd say the cow started it. Sure. A faint smile tugs at her mouth, but it doesn't last. You really think he could have killed me? He could have killed anyone, but he didn't. You shouldn't have to have carried that alone. Maybe not, but I'd rather it be me than you. I look back at her. Her features are relaxed now, not smiling, not sad, just calm. I could say something sentimental, maybe promise her it'll all be okay, but that's not us. Instead, I reach out, resting my hand lightly on her arm. She doesn't move away. Tomorrow, I'll bring breakfast here. You don't have to go out if you don't want to. Only if it's not biscuits again. No promises. Max's hand trembles when it reaches for me. She cups my cheek, her scales warm, her thumb dragging along the edge of my jaw like she's trying to memorize every line. I love you. For a moment, I think I imagined it. I didn't know how to say it before. It always sounded like something people said when they ran out of things to live for. I don't interrupt. She keeps her forehead pressed to mine, eyes glinting wet with the last sun rays of the dusk. I thought that having a job, a cabin, food, that was enough, something solid, something I could hold on to, but now... She lets the silence hang. Her breath brushes against my lips when she speaks again. Now I don't care about any of it. I don't want to work. I don't want to think about shifts or orders or any of them. I just... She bites down on her lip. I just want to stay here with the one that makes me forget all the noise. Her eyes shut completely now, a tear slipping free before she can hide it. It rolls down her cheek and catches the edge of her scales, glimmering faintly. I brush it away with my thumb, not saying a word. She looks so small when she leans forward like this, and yet she's still Max, the same stubborn dragoness who once tricked me into doing her laundry. Nothing's going to happen. I let my hand rest on the back of her neck, feeling the way she tenses under my fingers before melting against me. You're safe, you hear me? She nods just once, the movement slow and trembling. Then we both lean in at the same time, foreheads pressing again, and we rub our noses together. Hers big and round and warm, mine barely grazing against it. It's awkward, clumsy, and yet it feels better than a kiss. When she finally pulls back, she looks tired and happy at the same time. Could you get me something to eat? She blushes faintly, eyes flickering away. I haven't eaten all day. Guess I'm not as brave as I thought. I stand up in silence. I reach out and give her bald nose a gentle squeeze. She lets out a small, startled huff that turns into a laugh halfway through. Her smile trembling, but it's better than seeing her consumed by fear. Why are they both in the Sinji chair pose? Yeah, I know, right? I'll be back. Wait, I'll be right back. Don't take too long. I glance back once, just to hear her still sitting there on the bench, tail curled around her legs, eyes watching me, not sad anymore, but afraid of the quiet I'll leave behind. Yeah, I'm going to take a quick break to just stretch my legs and not be so sweaty. I'll be right back. One of these days, the apartment will turn back on my AC and I can stop sweating to death. Alright, I wake up staring at the ceiling. Wood above me is uneven and cracked, with a few dark stains that probably came from some leak years ago. Wait, didn't we read this? Yeah. I rolled onto my side, facing the wall. I could see the glimpse of Max's tail. She is still asleep. Part of me feels guilty for hiding down here, for staying quiet while everyone else is working. But I'm tired. Max. Max. She looks so peaceful. She's done everything right, worked hard, trusted people, and somehow she's still the one in danger. Alright, yeah, this is the... Max, I'll never forget what this bastard's done to you. You must go back to be with the You must go back to be the happy girl you are. Yeah, this is where it all takes place, isn't it? No luck with the gun, mate. Sigh. You perfectly know why. He nods. I'm fine, just tired. Come on, we know this is what happens. I never told Orange who the rich guy was. I only told him what he made me do. No. Okay, here we go. After it's all done, we get the ending. Let's go. Oh. I sit down on the bunk, letting the weight of the day finally sink in. My head's still buzzing from everything that just happened. Max steps in, closing the door quietly behind her. That was the guy, then. I don't even have to ask who she means. I just nod. Yeah, that was him. Good. Glad it's over. Her eyes linger on me for a second before she adds, softer. But what now? Now, I just want to rest. Yeah, I can live with that. Silence drapes over the cabin. It's not uncomfortable, just full. So, we're just gonna sleep then? Yeah, sure, buddy. She raises an eyebrow, a little smirk tugging at her lips. What do you think? I let out a tired sigh, dragging a hand over my face. Just don't bite me this time, alright? Her grin widens, the tip of her teeth catching the light. No promises. Sunday. Oh. Fast forward by accident. The grog tastes stronger than usual this morning. Maybe it's just me. Everything feels slower today. The hum of the engines, the light coming through the small window, even the way the air moves around me. I just realized I don't think Max has a minigame, does she? Last night still feels close, like it only ended a few minutes ago. Max wasn't wild like before. She was soft, gentle even. I didn't think she had that side in her. Not after everything we've been through. I tried waking her up before coming here. Should have known better. She half opened an eye, made a sound that could have been a growl, and then her tail came flying out from under the blanket like a whip. Sent me back a few steps. That thing has a life of its own, I swear. I didn't push my luck. She earned her rest anyway, after what happened yesterday, after everything. It's no wonder she's exhausted. I take another sip. Maybe I just needed a reason to sit here for a while. Don't bite me mentioned? Oh, I get, haha. Don't bite me. She looks different when she's resting. I think I'll finish this and get her something to eat. She'll wake up hungry, I know it. It's funny, a few weeks ago, I couldn't even imagine her staying still for more than a minute. Now I can't picture the cabin without her in it. The chef appears at the doorway, wiping his hands on an old rag, eyes landing straight on my cup. You drink that on a empty stomach, Giovannato. Figured I'd start the day right. He raises a brow, unimpressed. Right way to start a stomachache, maybe. You'll learn one day that grog isn't breakfast. He leans against the door frame, glancing towards the porthole. We're close enough to smell the dirt again. You should eat something. It's been days since we had a real meal. Sir, do you have anything left from storage? Left, yes. Edible, maybe not. But I could find something. Now that we're next to the coast, I could spare a meal or two. You want something to eat with that? Wouldn't the passengers get mad if they see me eating something different? Then don't let them see. You could still eat in the kitchen if you want. Less fancy eyes staring at your plate, eh? That sounds about right. Eggs sounds nice. Eggs, ha! The ones in the storage are probably rotten or worse by now. Then what do we have? He considers for a moment, stroking his chin as if he's making a deal with the ingredients in his thoughts. Flour and water, maybe some old salt. I can make a simple bread on the pan. Won't take long, won't kill you either. I take one last sip of the grog and stand up. Alright, let's go then. I'll keep you company. You always find your way into my kitchen, Giovanotto. Come on. The kitchen's smaller than it used to feel. Maybe because I know every corner of it by now. The chef grabs a small pan, sets it on the stove, and starts mixing flour and water with his hands. He doesn't need to measure, he just knows. So, what will you do now? I glance at him. What do you mean? We're a few minutes away from the new world. You planning on just keep floating? I rest my hands on the counter, looking at the flame. Max and I have been talking. We'll probably buy a farm. He nods, pressing the dough flat with the palm of his hand. A farm, eh? That suits you both. You'll need strong arms and a stronger heart. The land doesn't forgive laziness. I know, I think it's time for something grounded. Something that doesn't move under my feet all the time. I'm tangled. Sorry about that. Yeah, you'll miss it though. The sea always calls back those who've crossed it. Remember that. I watch him flip the dough in the pan, the surface turning golden, soft steam rising. If we find a place, I'll send you the address. You do that, Giovanotto. I'll be visiting. Bring some wine. Maybe teach your farm cook how to make something that doesn't taste like mud. Yeah, I'll hold you to that. You've been a good friend to me, sir. He slides the bread onto a plate. Uneven, half burnt, but it smells perfect. Sorry about the burnt sides. I had to cook it fast so we had time to eat before we reached the docks. The sound of the paddles slows outside. There it is, eh? The new world. I nod slowly, tearing a piece of bread, tasting the simple mix of flour and smoke. It's rough, uneven, but I'm glad I'm not eating Navy biscuits. Yeah, the new world. Don't go losing yourself in it, Giovanotto. Remember where you came from, but don't drag the ghosts with you. For a long moment, neither of us speaks. Go wake your dragoness. Tell her breakfast's waiting before she eats you instead. That last part is real. Remember that we sleep in the same area. You need to be less noisy. I'll take my chances. He chuckles, turning back to his stove. Good luck out there, Giovanotto. I head towards the door, the smell of baked flowers still clinging to my clothes. This'll be a good breakfast for her. The hum of the engines fades behind me, replaced by a long, low sigh. The ship's slowing down for the last time, then silence. Just the faint rhythm of waves against the hull and the muffled call of the tugboat outside, already pushing us towards the docks. We've arrived. Max is halfway through getting dressed, still wearing her pajamas. I've never had such a relaxing sleep before. She stretches, her tail swings back and forth before wrapping around her leg. Although I can still feel your hands around me, which honestly isn't bad, but I feel full of energy. I smile faintly, setting the small plate of bread on the bench. Glad to hear it. I brought us something from the kitchen. Bread, fresh off the pan. Her ears perk up, surprise flashing in her eyes. Wait, what time is it? Noon. The tugboat's already pushing us to the docks. Her face falls immediately, the cheerful spark replaced by disappointment. Noon? Are you serious? I wanted to be up to see us arrive. I tried to wake you up, believe me, but your tail had other plans. Her eyes narrow, and without a second thought, she turns to glare at the offender. Then, with all the seriousness in the world, she punches her own tail. The tail wiggles once in protest, and then droops dramatically. That's what you get for attacking my mate. So, are we good now, or should I give you two a moment? She looks at me, smirking. We're good. She knows who's boss. We should eat fast and then go up on the deck together. The captain will probably make some kind of speech, and I don't want to miss it. You sure you're not just saying that because you want to see who cries first? Would be funny to see it. Max looks at the bread on the bench and smiles. You went to the kitchen? She looks genuinely surprised, like we just mentioned. We mentioned that. You're braver than I thought. The chef still scares me a little. He's not that bad. I even told him that I would give him our address once we buy the farm. She freezes for a second. Her scales slightly go duller with that last part. You told him about that? Yeah, I figured it's only fair. He kept us fed all this time. He deserves to visit someday. Her eyes soften at that. The farm still sounds like a dream. She smiles faintly. Can you imagine me milking a cow? Honestly, yes, and I think the cow would be terrified. You're not supposed to agree that fast. Sorry, instinct. She tears a piece of bread from the bench and offers it to me, half smiling, half serious. I still can't believe we're here already. Feels like we've been sailing for a lifetime. Maybe we have. The kind that ends and starts again on the same day. What did I just say? You get poetic when you're tired. I'm just realizing it's over. Not over, just different now. We get to start from zero. The silence after that feels good. Not empty, not awkward. Just calm. Outside, the tugboat's whistle echoes faintly, followed by a slow creak as the ship brushes against the pier. The whole cabin shivers, then steadies. Guess we really made it. Yeah, we did. For the first time since we left, I don't feel the need to look back. 6 months later. Oh boy. Haru says no chef route, then drops the "you always found your way into my kitchen" line. Oh, there you go, guys. There you go. Still looks like a guy. Still looks like a guy. It's been 6 months since the docks, 6 months since we stepped onto solid ground and felt the wind that didn't reek of salt or steam. But there we go, achievement. The farm doesn't look like much from afar, just a stretch of grass, a small wooden house, and a barn that was made by the previous owner. Max walks a few paces ahead of me. She always hums when she's happy, though she'll never admit it. The emerald she brought with her was almost as soon as... Wait. The emerald she brought with her was gone almost as soon as we sold it. Turns out land was cheaper than I expected. But cows are a different story. Chickens, no problem. We had more offers for chickens than we knew what to do with. But cows, no one wanted to sell to Draconians. Rumors spread fast in these parts, and apparently one crazy man once shouted at a herd of cows from a ship near the docks. I don't know who that was. Maybe someone who looked like me. Maybe it was me. I don't ask anymore. It took months, but we finally managed to buy 2. Scrawny, stubborn things with eyes that looked like they seen too much. But they eat well, they graze quietly, and they make Max happy. And that's what matters. She says cows make a farm feel alive. I think she just likes that they listen when she talks to them. But whenever she's not looking, I swear those cows want to fight with me. The farm's growing, slowly. Every week, a new fence post. A new patch of tilled soil. We don't have workers yet. We'll need them soon, though. The animal's multiplying faster than we can handle, but for now, it's just us. Just the two of us, like it used to be, and that's enough. She eats eggs every day now. Every single day, sometimes twice. It became almost a ritual for her, waking before dawn, walking barefoot to the coop, and lifting a hen that hasn't even woken up yet. I watch from the window sometimes, wondering how something so small can mean so much to her. I guess that's what peace looks like for her. I thought about writing home once. I even started. Sat by the candlelight one evening with ink that smelled like rotten potatoes and a pen that scratched too loud against the paper. Wrote to my father, but the words didn't fit. I stared at them until I stopped meaning anything. In the end, I tore the page apart and tossed it into the fire. A few weeks later, I tried again, not to him, but to the maid from the old manor. I told her where I was, that I was alive, and maybe she could tell him that too. I never got an answer back. Maybe she never received it. Maybe she did choose silence. Either way, it doesn't matter now. Is he talking about Victoria or something? I don't know. There's a kind of quiet of freedom in not waiting for anything anymore. No reply, no forgiveness, no approval. The world stopped asking things from me, and I stopped trying to explain myself to it. Now everything I care about is here, in the house that smells of wood and straw, in the field where Max stands now, turning to wave at me. We don't talk about the voyage much. It feels like a dream that belonged to someone else. Sometimes when the wind blows hard enough, I think I hear it again, that deep rhythm. But then Max calls my name and the sound disappears. There's a ring hidden inside my coat pocket. It's simple, silver. A little one, but that's because I'm guessing her finger size. She doesn't know yet, but I plan to ask her soon, maybe when the first snow comes. Maybe after the harvest. There's no rush. We already share everything. The work, the silence, the bed, the hope. But I still want to see her face when I ask. I want to see the spark in her eyes. The one that reminds me why I never looked back. I walked past the fence we built together last month. The wood's already aging, cracking a little in the sun, but it holds. The sun here doesn't forgive it all. When I look at Max, crouched near the coop, humming again while the chickens peck around her boots, I realize something I hadn't before. The voyage didn't end when we reached land. It ended the moment I stopped feeling lost. And that moment was right here, watching her, knowing this is where I'm supposed to be. I used to think peace meant silence. Now I know it's her every morning. The emerald's gone. The past's gone. My old home doesn't matter. What matters is this, a life with her. Tomorrow we'll wake before dawn again. That's our life now. That's my peace. And that's the end of my journey. There we go, we did it. Yay. The beast is slain. We don't have to deal with Max anymore. And then a couple years later, Anon gets drafted into the Great War. The Revolutionary War. Amazing. I just noticed the artwork's now unique to whoever you go to. Crazy. Wait, that's not Max. I'm gonna let this run and I'll be right back. You are my strength. You are the healer of my soul. You are the Lord. You are my God. And I will trust you even through my fear and pain.
Joy inside of me. You are the breath of life. You are my savior. You are my king. You are the reason that I breathe. You are the Lord. You are my God. And I will trust you.
Sorry about that. We are done. And that just leaves the epilogue stuff. Wait, there's nothing new. Where's the max things? Unless it's like an egg or something. But I don't see it. Unless we have to do the extras first. Alright, time, payment, and alcohol. Oh boy. The farm is swarmed by fans of Anon, and it's all hell. Remember, this is a movie. Alright. That's a wrap for today, everyone. So, what now? We're finally done for the day? Yeah, I got one of my finals later, but I still have time. I just checked my watch a minute ago. She taps the strap on her wrist. Proud of how organized she sounds. You did change the hour, right? What? Summertime started last night, you know. Clock jumps forward an hour like every year. She stares at me, pupils shrinking. The color drains from her face faster than I thought possible for someone with scales. Well, what do you mean, jumps forward? When? Last night, like, officially since 2 a.m. It's 3 p.m. right now. It's over. There's a second of dead silence, and then she jolts like she's been hit by lightning. Three! I'm dead! I'm absolutely... Before I can even finish processing it, she's already halfway to the door, tail whipping past the lighting rig. Alright. The studio door bangs open, a burst of daylight spilling in. Guess that answers what her plans were. Don't forget your script! She's definitely going to ace that exam if she doesn't break the sound barrier getting there. The next one. Payment. We'll have a barbecue later at my place. You in, lad? I'd like to, but I really need to finish learning my lines for tomorrow. Well, don't worry about that. Lines can wait. Meat can't. Honestly, after working with Clint Westwood, I thought he'd be more serious. He's always too relaxed for someone running a production this big. Hey, you two get paid by the hour for this project itself? Project? Wait, we're getting paid? Yeah, I'm getting paid by the hour, which is starting to piss me off. I can't stay too long here. It clashes with my college schedule. Welcome to showbiz, lass. I started the same way when I was your age. She stares at the script in my hands, and then at the empty set around us. You realize we're spending half of our lives pretending to be on a ship again? I don't answer, mostly because she's right. She sighs. If they don't fix the payment thing soon, I'm switching majors. I swear, between college and this schedule, I'm gonna lose it. I nod, half listening, half thinking about tomorrow's lines. You know, back in my day, movies were a lot less forgiving. How so? They used real film. Every time the director said cut, you'd hear the sound of money burning. You had one take, maybe two if you were lucky. Sounds stressful. Aye, it was. You couldn't sneeze, blink, or breathe wrong. One mistake meant the producer giving you that look, the one that says, you just wasted our entire lunch budget. At least now the director's got money to spend, although a better set wouldn't hurt. What's wrong with it? Nothing wrong. The art director did a magnificent job with the watercolor backdrop. Really, it's just, sometimes I wish we could actually feel the ship, you know? Hear the water, smell the salt, feel the sway. You'll be wanting the real sea then, lass. Just wait till they start doing 4D movies. You'll get seasick for free. I'm charging extra. You do that, I'll save you a steak. My brain just barded. Brain not braining. Wait, Max, how much are you getting paid again? 20 an hour, why? Because I think I'm doing this for free. For real? Yeah. Then you're definitely coming to the barbecue. At least get a free meal out of it. I'll take it. I'm working for free. He does it for free. He's not Anon, he's Janny. He's not Jonathan, he's Janny. Janithan. He does it for free. To be fair, daylight savings is stupid and does nothing but hurt. Alright, 10-minute break, people. Hydrate, breathe, and don't break the set again. Leave the background audio for now. Finally, my tail's going numb from sitting on that fake bench all morning. I don't understand how they managed to make the cushions part into a rock. Duct tape. So, what were you saying earlier? Something about your brothers? Oh no, she has siblings. Oh right, those gobshits. Back home in Ireland, they always make fun of me at family gatherings because I'm a total featherweight. Featherweight? You? Hey, one beer and I'm gone. Properly gone. Singing to the cows gone. You're kidding. You're Irish. That's like illegal. Not my fault. Bad genetics. My father could drink a barrel, but me, 1 pint and I'm a puddle on the floor. So if I ever invited you for a drink, I'd only have to pay for 1 beer? You wouldn't even need to. I'd be asleep before I finish it. That's cost-effective. Dangerous, too. My brothers used to draw dongs on me when I passed out. You'd imagine why I moved here. You sure they're not still doing that from long distance? Probably. They still send me pictures of Guinness just to mock me. You ever try training your tolerance? Tried once. Didn't end well. I joined college thinking I could keep up with the lads. Big mistake. What happened? 2 shots in, I declared myself the clean of the dorm, then cried a lot because apparently I get depressed when drunk. That's an impressive arc for one night. A tragic one, more like. Alright, no beer then. What about a drink later today? Juice or something? Is this a trap? No. Sounds suspiciously like a trap. It's just juice. Maybe tea, maybe coffee. Unless you want it to be a date. I have a boyfriend, Anon. Wait, back up. Did you just ask me on a date? No, I mean, not unless you want it to be a date. Smooth. No wonder you're an actor. That's what I do. Uh-huh. You're paying for it at least. Because my wallet's emptier than the fake boiler room set. Sure, my treat. Now that's tempting. A free juice and maybe snacks. I aim to please. You know, maybe after all this madness, after the production wraps up, we could actually be good friends. Oh Friend zoned right away. You think so? Aye, we shared a lot of this past month. Long nights, awkward bloopers, broken props. And let's not forget, you already see me naked. There's not much left to hide, is there? Still, you make it sound like it's casual. Because it is. We're professionals, sort of. I'm still studying. Sort of. Tell you what, if you get me a good juice during a non-date, maybe I'll consider calling it a real one next time. So it's a challenge now. Everything is a challenge when I'm involved. And what's my reward if I win? Max points at herself with both thumbs. Okay, team, break's over. Let's get back to work. So canonically, they're both together. Because I don't think he'd be going after Victoria. She's also Irish. Yeah, I know. No, do I have to reboot the game to see this? I mean, horror's not here. Let me reboot the game real quick, see if we can get if we can get the Max thing popping up. And then we'll probably wrap it up. And we're right before the second hour mark, too. I thought we'd be going over it. Oh, there we go. Chocolate. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm having flashbacks to the parody mod. Oh, no. Max, where's your hand been? Max, do we need to throw you overboard? Victoria Extra reveals she's a cousin of Anon because it's a movie. Did you play this? No spoilers, please. We got one more route, and actually we got the MGTOW route too, which I'll probably save for another. They'll be their own routes. I feel like the MGTOW one will be really fast. It'll just be them shooting them all down. I don't even think Max had a... Did Max have one? Did Max have one where I could shoot her down? I think it was like right here, wasn't it? Yeah, we should just be friends. So yeah, we'll line them all up and then we'll knock them all down. Load. Let's see. Load. Yes. I want to start from 0. Then load. Start a new life. Hey, what is the context for that one? Stay. Does it mean like stay as in stay with her? Or start a new life as in starting solo? I mean, we'll figure it out when we get there. We'll figure it out. No, I'm only here to shitpost. If my humor turns out to be true, that's gonna be hilarious. Yeah, I could see it. Yeah. Oh. Auntie Victoria. Crazy. Well, I don't know if I'll start up another stream. I know I gotta do Fortnite dailies. I don't know, maybe? I just gotta stop being so fucking overheated here because there's no AC and I'm dying. Next up, Hag Maxing. Yeah, I gotta get that one put together. Maybe we'll start that one Friday? I don't know. I know I got other Snoop mods I gotta do too. Which I don't know. Maybe we'll take a break. We'll do a Snoop mod or two and then we'll come back. We'll figure it out. I'm not in a rush. I'm gonna head off. If there's another stream, there's another stream. I'm not making any promises.